Good afternoon, my name is Tumi Tladi and welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is the first video of mine that you are currently watching, I'm gonna urge you to watch my other previous videos, especially Introduction to Identical Dogs, where you get to see this handsome face of mine laying out a set of expectations for this YouTube channel. One of them is I was going to show everything that went into my system Identical Dogs. Today it's Wednesday, the 18th of August 2021. Time it's 1 minute before 1 p.m. and let's get down to business. So like we did in our previous series, version control series, I just did part 2. There's a possibility of part 3, so I conclude now officially this series, as today I started a brand new series called Web API. So we need a TXT document, Web API series, because I've been saying this is gonna be the next mini series I intend to do. So today what we're gonna be doing what is Web API. The next video that I intend to do is gonna be the overview of Web API. So let's start with Web API series. So view number 1 is going to be what is Web API. Video number 2 is going to be overview of Web API in the context of identical dogs. And then we also going to be, and then we'll go nuts from here. So this comes afterwards in detail, but for now I want to keep these videos like it's a mini series. I want to keep them short, simple, straight to the point. So what is Web API, and then what is this thing I'm talking about? Okay, so now Firefox is running. We're gonna type what is Web API. Some people are calling it web service. I don't know why they're calling it web service, but what is Web API? So a Web API, according to Wikipedia, is an application programming interface for either a web server or a browser. This is ridiculous. Tutorials teacher, please check out this website. I did check it out where I learned some of the things, but I did not finish them because these are the basic stuff. But there, do you see Web API? I only typed what is Web API. They're saying okay, the tutorials teacher website saying there is ASP.NET Web API is an extensible framework for building HTTP based services that can be accessed in different applications on different platforms such as web, Windows, mobile, etc. It works more or less the same way as ASP.NET MVC web application, except that it sends data as a response instead of HTML view. I think this is perfect. Like I said, I want to keep it short and simple. Again, it's an extensible framework. So we should understand that Web API is a framework from Microsoft. The type of a framework it's extensible for building HTTP based services, and we'll talk about those HTTP based services that can be accessed in different applications on different platforms such as web, Windows, mobile, etc. It works more or less the same way as ASP.NET MVC web application, except that it sends data as a response. See, there's a keyword response instead of HTML view. So another thing that we need to talk about, because I don't wanna go further with this thing. Maybe while we are doing the overview, we should do stuff like HTTP verbs. I also call it methods. So here we're talking about post, get, post, put, and delete. So I'm setting expectation already for what's going to happen. So this is one of the things that we need to talk about. And then we should talk about also the response type. Response type, in this case it's JSON. We should talk about that one. I don't know what else I'm gonna be doing, but we'll figure out the rest. I want to continue to read so that I understand some of the things. Okay. I think that's very important. The Web API is the great framework for exposing your data and services to different devices. Moreover, Web API is open source, an ideal platform for building RESTful services over .NET framework. Web API is the enhanced form of web application to provide services on different devices like laptop, mobile, and others. Today, all kinds of businesses use the internet as cost-effective way to expand their business in international market. So we are done. So we are about to set up an expectation of what's going to happen. So I'm quickly gonna open Visual Studio. It's been running idle mode, and now it's gonna take too long to wake up. Okay, so currently I've been working on Web API and I've been busy with the version 3 system. But I'm not gonna get into it. I just wanna do one more commit. Make sure before I talk about the overview, what I'm gonna be talking about next up. So let me just quickly commit this guy because I'm done with it. Please do watch my previous video on version control, because you're going to be seeing stuff like this often, and then you would wonder what am I doing, what are these things, what are these symbols, you know, what is the document, you know. Please do that. It's going to be helpful. What is this number outgoing, what's this number incoming? Okay, so because I'm done with the version 3 for validators, we'll talk about validators. We should talk about validators while we're here. We're going to talk about validators. And validators talking about the fluent validation. Please watch, there's a video that I did external service where I discuss fluent validation, so I'm not going to talk about it, but we're going to be showing fluent validation for validators. What else do we need to do? We're going to do automapper. So we need to talk about automapper. The reason why I'm doing this, because when I show you the code, you should understand. I'm only going to introduce that this automapper does this. But then again, okay, give me a couple of seconds until I finish this thing. Automapper, we're going to cover that topic. So I'm still going to do automapper for v3. So, but for now, let me close it. No, don't close it because I need it. I'm still using it. We're going to talk about controllers. Controllers, and then let's see, we should talk about this Web API config now, but we'll cover everything that has to do with Web API. And by the way, remember, just to recap that this is 2-in-1 project. It's both the MVC and Web API. Contracts, we need to talk about contracts in detail after this, but before that we should talk about contracts. Contracts, because I'm going to be showing a lot of contracts, and then controllers, helpers. What do I have specifically for Web API? nothing exciting. We don't have models for web API. We don't have the scripts, services, dependency injection. We should talk about dependency injection. Yes, we should talk about dependency injection. Dependency injection. It's DI container. We should talk about it because I'm making use of it. Another reason why I'm mentioning dependency injection, because this is the .NET framework, right? I'm still going to be covering whatever I do. I'm going to be showing also this one, which is the .NET Core version of it. Okay, if I talk about the contracts here, I should be mentioning the contract on the .NET framework. If I talk about Automap on that side, I should be talking, because everything is different. So these are going to be individual videos where I talk about this, where I talk about this, where I talk about this, where I talk about this guy, where I talk about this, dependency injection also, and so forth. So what else can we learn? Validators, we don't want to talk about this. View models, we don't have them because, okay, I think that's it from this side. And then when it comes to the .NET Core version, Automap installers, we should talk about installers. Installers, but this is for .NET Core. Okay, and then we don't have the models, and we should talk about a very critical thing, filters. Particularly the filter I want to focus on, it's called validation filter. So let's do this. Validation filters. Okay, let's do this. Let's not be lazy. So this is gonna be from .NET Core. We're gonna talk about, because it's very, very important. What else? Validations, we do have them. Why do we have view models? Okay, but why is it called view? Oh, I understand. Yeah, I think that's it. So this is gonna be part of the overview. Then the next video, because of this, I need you to understand something. In fact, I'm not gonna do overview today. I'm gonna do it some other time. Tomorrow, I want to do one video a day. Okay, so here's the thing also. Why am I doing this? Because when we get to Xamarin, Xamarin it's making use of a web API. This version primarily, secondarily this one. So everything here, it's on web API. So I need to start step by step, where we need to talk about the controllers, because they are the most critical things. So let's go to version 1. For businesses, we should talk about the businesses. The topic will be businesses. So these are the features, right? Business. Yes, or let's say businesses. The next thing that we're going to be talking about, I'm only going to be doing a video on businesses, everything about businesses. And then next up, we're going to be doing, I want the services. Do we have the services? Let's see. Okay, we should start with the version update. It's critical before businesses. Version updates. Okay, it comes first. And then we're going to do businesses. Let's see. And then we should do access pin right after this, right? Yes, we're gonna cover access pin. What's the purpose of access pin as far as mobile application is concerned? So we're gonna be talking about access pins And then next up, number 6, we should talk about feedbacks. We should talk about phone number on the settings page for mobile applications. So we're gonna do a video on phone number. Should I say phone numbers? Number 8, we're gonna be doing notifications. But before that we do notification, we should do uploads. Yes, so uploads first, and then we should do voice messages. We'll talk about this feature, and then I think lastly we should do notifications. But before we come to uploads, we should talk about something interesting, which is uploaded docs. Now this one should come afterwards. It should come here, because we'll talk about this controller, uploaded docs. And then when it comes to voice message, we should talk about uploaded. So it's going to be number 10, there's going to be 11, and then uploaded audios. And then it's going to be number 12, the last one. I'm trying to do it sequentially, the way I remember building my app. So we have a business, we have access pin, we have feedbacks, we have a phone number, we have notifications, we have audio and docs, we have version updates as the first one, we have uploads scheduled, yes, and we have voice messages. Yes, that's it. I think this is gonna be how we're gonna structure this. So we're gonna be talking about every single thing. For example, if we look at uploads, if I open this file, we should look at automapper for uploads. There we go. Again, we should look at the contract for uploads. That guy, we don't have the response. I know for sure we don't have the response. We should talk about this file API routes, and then we should talk about the validators for uploads. That guy. And then on .NET Core, because we are done here, on .NET Core, because I'm going to be doing side by side, we should talk about dependency injection, which is services. We're looking V1, and then uploads for both of these guys and how we register them, everything. So it's going to be quite interesting. This will be a day of uploads. What is uploads? What was the intent? That when I do mobile application, I'm only going to be pointing to the controller. I don't know if I'm making sense. That when I do a mobile application, I'm going to be pointing to this controller, because this controller will have everything from the mobile application. We'll already have covered the request validator, everything from the mobile application. So this is going to be a fantastic mini series that I intend to do. Fantastic. In the meantime, I'm going to continue to build this V3 system. As you can see, there are version 2, now I need to do V3 because I need to tighten security to this services or HTTP services, because we hear a lot about services that on different platforms such as for building HTTP based services that can be accessed in different applications. So yeah, stay tuned for that. I'm excited about it. I have a huge expectation, and then you're gonna be hearing what to do, what not to do. Don't do this, do that. I'm gonna be doing side by side. Not only this, but I'm also gonna be focusing on this guy side by side. It's gonna be fantastic. With that being said, thank you. Please subscribe, and then make sure that you watch these videos, because you're gonna be learning a lot. You can also you would also be learning MVC, like we learned that it's more like MVC, but it's not. Okay. Thank you.